On the channel today, we've got the brand new Phoibos Apollo titanium. It's new, it's improved, it's got 300 meters of water resistance, hardness coating of 1200, full titanium, super light, built like a tank. It's got a couple of little flaws which I'm going to talk about, but overall, a pretty decent package. Let's check it out. Welcome back, guys. So as you can see, we've got the brand new Phoibos Apollo titanium. It's a 300 meter dive style watch, full titanium hardness coating. It's a pretty solid rugged piece. It's got a Miyota movement in it, and you know what, it's been a joy on the wrist. It only comes in at a really lightweight. I've enjoyed it. It's been at a 41 or thereabouts size. It's been comfortable and extremely legible. Now there are a couple of negatives of this watch that I want to speak about, which I think could be addressed, and we'll get onto that. First and foremost, you saw the pop-up, the watch has been donated to the channel. However, Phoibos has zero input into this review. Now if we do the numbers and check out the specs, I measure a case diameter of exactly 41 millimeters, 41.8 to that bezel. The case height comes in at 12.9 mil. I measure a lug to lug of 48.1 and a lug width of 22. Now the crown is a signed screw down crown. It is 6.8 millimeters and offers 300 meters of water resistance, and the total weight sized on this bracelet to my 18 centimeter wrist comes in at 119 grams. At 119 grams, I've not felt it all week. It is so light. It's been beautiful. It's a 41, or the bezel itself is 41.9, so it's almost a 42 mil watch, but I haven't felt it on the wrist. It's so comfortable. The bracelet has been great, the height coming in at 12.9. As you can see, it just sits really beautifully on the wrist. So it has been a wonderful experience. I like titanium when it comes in around this sort of size and weight. Very similar to a Tudor Pelagos, and you can see where the appeal is. Now having a look at that bracelet, as you can see, solid end links, very nice links themselves, screw pins. It's got a milled swivel and a press clasp with a fold over. It also offers full micro adjustment, which has been really easy to find a comfort factor on my wrist. Now if we have a look at the bezel on this watch, it's a 120 click unidirectional, and it has a DLC titanium insert, and it's also loomed. Now the action on this is, it's really crisp and really tactile. You can hear that. Very nice, very toolish. There's hardly any back play, and it lines up perfectly. So a very nice bezel action. I'm quite enjoying this for a titanium bezel. Well done. Now if we draw our attention to that dial, it's got like a nice sand sort of a texture. It's a white dial. We've got old radium lume. Actually, we've got a combination of old radium lume and super luminova BGW9. There's 15 layers, and I tell you what, if we look at that lume, this thing is an absolute torch. It's wonderful. This is how a dive style watch should look. It glows, it's bright, very easy to read the time. Everything is super crisp. In that regard, well done. Now the movement of the watch is a Miyota 9015, and if we unscrew that crown, you can see we get a healthy pop. Single click allows us to adjust the date, 10th, 11th, 12th. So it's got a nice date complication at the 6, balances out that dial. Second click allows us to adjust the time. So we can go all the way around. As you can see, there's the date change, perfect. Now the winding experience, as you'd expect from a Miyota, a little bit harsh, that's quite normal. And the latch down experience, first time, again, it's a little bit on the harsh side, probably needs a little bit of a clean with some dental floss. I find that's normal with titanium watches. I normally clean the threads, and then it brings it to a much more smoother experience. Now once we're on that dial, you can see that there's a rehaut with 12, 1, 2, 3, but there are no minute markers. The minute markers are actually on the bezel, and that's one of my gripes, because I would have preferred to have the actual minute markers on the dial rather than the bezel itself. And I say that because when you go to set the actual minute hand, you can see the distance from there to there is quite substantial. It would have been a lot easier to put those minute markers on the rehaut, on the dial, to be able to set the time easier. Turning the watch over, you can see that there's a solid titanium case back. It's got its engraved text, Very sterile, very clean, and very solid, enough to supply the 300 meters of water resistance. Lastly, if we observe the sapphire crystal on this watch, is a flat sapphire. It has 3 layers of anti-reflective coating, and surprisingly it's doing a really good job. For a watch that's only got 3 layers of AR, that is really good. There's no washout. It's obviously quality coating because the legibility on this has been perfect everywhere. Now every watch has positives and negatives, and with this particular unit, the things that I found that I could say that could be changed, that would be nice if they were changed. Things like that minute track, like I suggested, it would have been good to have it on the readout, on the dial itself, so you can actually set the time a little bit easier. Not a deal breaker, that's my personal preference. Secondly, the clasp itself, the actual, if you look at the clasp, it's a press clasp, and it's a little bit rattly. The bracelet itself is very good. The bracelet coming in at titanium, solid links, screw pins, solid end links and everything, that is very nice. But the clasp itself and the actual fold over, just that little bit thin and a little bit rattly. So I think that probably lets down the quality of the actual rear end, but it does do its job. And whilst we're on the bracelet, it would have been great to see drilled lugs. It is a tool style watch. It would have been good to have drilled lugs on this, just to make it easier to change out that bracelet so you can put rubber, seat belts, whatever you want. And potentially the harshness of the screw down crown. Moving on to the positives, gee, that lume is exceptional. That lume, the 15 layers of grade A superluminova, both BGW9 and old radium, phenomenal. Really good lume. The weight is great, 119 grams on this bracelet. That is really exceptional. The comfort factor for a 41-42 mil watch has been really, really good. 2-year warranty, very good anti-reflective coating on that flat sapphire. So there are a lot of positives, albeit a couple of small little tweaks here and there. You win some, you lose some. There are also different colorways in this watch. I'll give you the links in the description. Check on their website. This particular one is the white. I think it's nice, neutral, it works. You could really play around with different strap choices as well. But in saying that, it is so comfortable on this bracelet and so lightweight. It's been enjoyed just like that. And lastly, before we finish, I've put the watch on the time grapher just to check its accuracy. It's been running at +11, +12 seconds per day, quite within spec of that Miyota 9015. Strong and robust, a nice little workhorse for a very lightweight, decent sized dive style watch. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts, guys. This is the brand new Phoibos Apollo Titanium 300 meter. It's been improved. That hardness coating has been great all week with 1200 HV. I've not seen any scratches on it anywhere. Very cool. Thank you for watching, guys. Hit me up in the comments and we'll see you all in the next video.